Welcome back to Game-Based Learning in the World Language Classroom, the why, what, and how. We're on section 3 of my book, The How. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, and Japanese to high schoolers out here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. And I'd love to talk to you about these games and help me tweak some more games. Find me on the Minecraft Education Ambassadors or the Minecraft Teachers Lounge, Roxem, studio-nemo.com, or we're talking about Duolingo and the Duolingo Educators Network, which has a lot of support for you, so I highly suggest you join it.
Duolingo. It's the best way for you to learn another language. Duolingo!
So I am going through how I leverage Duolingo in the classroom. We talked about the Project World characters in the last episode. All right, so again, I don't have my students sitting behind a computer screen with the exception of when we do Minecraft Education or Bluekit or Roxem as a class. Duolingo is great for homework. I feel like students spend enough time behind the screen, and class time should be for application and talking to each other. And I haven't yet found a way for them to talk to each other while they're doing Duolingo. All right, so one thing I love to do with Duolingo is I go through and I say, this is the skill I want them to work on. And I do it myself, of course, because I never ask my students to do something I'm not willing to do myself. I do it myself and I take screenshots while I do it. So now I've got a bunch of sentences, and it takes me about 4 minutes to do a lesson, okay, with taking screenshots, because it's pretty quick once you get the screenshot program open. So here's the sentence I got, and I covered over my answer so that the students didn't have the answer in front of them, okay. Here, took the screenshot and covered that over here, and I even wrote a little hint for them. Okay, so I went through. This one didn't have any pictures on it. That was a bad one for me to show you. Normally they've got the characters on it. It's really cute. Then I print them really, really large on cardstock, and I'm going to show you a picture from way back early in my teaching where I didn't print them large, and I really regretted it. So from now on, I print them really large, and you know, when I print them really large, it means I can cut them out very quickly because I can just take them to the paper cutter and go slice, 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 and also they don't get lost. Okay, so I print them really large, and for the first one, I'll normally print on red or pink, and then the second one I'll print on orange, and then the next one I'll print on yellow, and then so each lesson is a different color. So if I have several out at once, which I often do, and then I need to clean up afterwards, it's easy for me to see where they go. And I just go through the colors of the rainbow. So the first lesson is red, the second lesson's orange, the third lesson's yellow, and whatever the workroom has, whatever colors they have in those rainbow colors, and then I can easily put them back into order after we're done playing all of our games, because often I have 4 different sets out at the same time. Okay, so possibility number 1 is build a sentence, and what I did was I took all those sentences and I cut them up, and that was way too tiny. That was awful. Look at the hand. Okay, way too tiny. It took me forever to cut them out. And, you know, after the lesson was over, I still had another class coming in, but I was finding little pieces on the floor, and I couldn't tell which set they went to because this was in partners, you know. But I did like the color coding because then I could tell where they went. Idea number 2 is, see here now I'm writing them bigger so I can just slice straight across. And I give the students the words and I tell them, put them together in a sentence. And then I give like table points using the GLAD technique for table points, guided language acquisition development. I have a whole video on that. So I give them table points on how many sentences they can come up with this stack of words. And the sentences can be goofy, that's fine. I give each student one entire card, and maybe it has a word on it, maybe it has one of the whole sentences, and they have to get up and walk around the room and find someone that they could possibly pair with, and then they run to the board and they magnetize the 2 words or the 2 sentences to the whiteboard, and then write whatever connecting words or connecting sentences or transition words, whatever they need between the 2 cards. They could do it on paper. Somehow it's so much more fun doing it on cards, getting them up on their feet. Blob sometimes works really well. So each student has one word, and they have to find as many different people as they can to put the words together into a long sentence. And when they find someone whose word could go into a sentence with them, they're stuck with them, and then they have to find somebody else, and then they have to find somebody else, and hopefully you'll have the entire class making one long giant sentence. Even, they can make up whatever connecting words they want. But sometimes you'll get like 2 groups, which is fine too. This one is probably my favorite to do. I love the TV show Whose Line Is It Anyway? The British version, not the American version. The American version isn't as good as the British version, frankly. But anyway, what happens is you've got 2 actors, and each one has a piece of paper. They have 2 pieces of paper, actually, that the audience has given to them with some nonsensical line on it. And they start doing a scene together. And at some point during the scene, they have to reach into their pocket and pull out the line and incorporate that somehow into the skit that they're doing, and it gets really silly. With my students, I let them think about it beforehand. They're not like doing it on the fly like an actual professional improvisateur would be doing. But this was one we did as a comic strip using Pixton during the pandemic, where I just had them choose 2 random sentences and put it into a skit, and it was pretty funny. It was they had some of the sentences were, I eat a pizza, he has 3 cats, and they're in Paris. So the student came up with, hello, where are the teachers? They're in Paris. Oh, great. Let's have a party. What do you like to eat? I eat a pizza every day. Why are there hairs in the pizza? Because the head of the kitchen, the chef, he has 3 cats. So that worked out well. But that's pretty fun. All right. In our next chapter, I'm going to show you... No, you know what? Before I do this, I'm going to give you the bonus. I was trying to debate if I was going to have enough time to do this as part of this one or not, but I have time because I'm only at 7 minutes. All right. So this is Duolingo ABC, and Duolingo ABC is adorable. They've taken all the characters and they've de-aged them. So they're now all kids. And sometimes it doesn't make any sense because like Eddie and Lily are friends, whereas Eddie is an adult and Lily is a teenager in actual Duolingo, but it's cute. Okay. So they have Duolingo ABC. I know they're working on a Spanish version, but right now they only have English. Okay. But the pictures are super cute. So what I do is I take screenshots of the pictures and I tell the students here, right here, they have to use these verbs and write the story following the pictures. Okay. So here's the beginning of the story. And I knew that they were going to ask me, I predicted they were going to ask me about these words. So I went ahead and wrote them on the board. And then when the kids ask me, how do you, comment dit-on, blah, 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 then I can write it really quick on the board wherever I need to write it. Okay. So then here's the pictures. All right. And I knew that they were going to ask me about these words. And, often by the end of the lesson, these are totally filled with words because the students really want to take it off the rails. Yay, because they'll remember the words better. But they're using the words, okay, to sit down. And that's the story. So they have a fun time just basically writing their own version of the story. So let me get back to where I'm supposed to be. There we go. All right, next time, part 8. I promise you we'll be done soon. Hope to see you there.